Welcome to Extra Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the extra channel that's not the main channel, which is, well, it's just called Throttle House. That's why the word extra would be on this side for you.
This is lower production.
Yes.
We've actually upped the production on the main channel.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've noticed because it's killing us.
It's killing us.
And yeah, today we're talking about this big purple.
This is a chill conversation
bastard.
about a gigantic purple Challenger.
Why does it look so big today? Why do I feel so small against it?
I don't know. What was we just in a BMW M4, which is a big car, and it's still just dwarfed by this.
It's giant.
This is a big vehicle. Okay,
well,
so this is the GT.
So it doesn't have the giant V8 engine?
No, it does not have, well, there's actually a V8 engine above this that isn't the giant V8 engine. That would be the RT.
And then the next one after that's the Hemi. With
Yeah,
the
the 392,
okay.
Yes. So this is not the base though.
No.
That's called the
SXT.
The SXT, and this is the GT, which means
it's quite subtle here. You know, it's like the little black GT here. Like, it's not very. They're not shouty about it.
They're not showing it off. I don't think so. I think the idea of this is that you have a Challenger now, right? That's what this is. Like you wanted a Challenger, you've got a Challenger, and you get this real functional hood scoop, a little splitter going on down there.
Yeah. And
this is the all-wheel drive. I got this specifically this week because I wanted to test an all-wheel drive Challenger in the winter in Canada. And now the weather's lovely.
You got lovely weather, yeah.
It's great. I can't really complain. It doesn't have
and
the wide body.
This is Hell Raisin.
Hell Raisin. It's not
purple.
Not
Same
Plum Crazy.
No, Plum Crazy is crazier.
No, you don't.
Hell Raisin is the same purple as the Superstock we drove.
Right.
I'm curious though. I want to see what the 6 looks like because we've only ever seen Hellcat and Scat Pack engines in
I don't want to really get your hopes up for this one. I mean, like this is called the Pentastar V6.
Pentastar.
Pentastar. It's a very cool name, except it's, well, if I can ever open it, there it is.
It's a window into Thomas's college years.
So that.
Oh, that's an engine, yeah.
This is just a, it's just a V6.
Oh, they've matched the cooling color to the.
If you've seen our Superstock video, that joke will make sense.
Yes.
No, it's just it's a minivan engine. Because it's a minivan engine.
Yeah.
It's the Pentastar. It's in everything. It's in the Pacifica. It's in the.
Yeah.
I'll show you in a minute.
There is definitely a lack of wide body. And what's going on with this ride height? Why is this so? Why is the curve?
I don't actually know why it looks like it's been lifted, on a jack.
It looks like it's ready to go rallying.
I don't know what the.
And it's all-wheel drive. Maybe this is the world's first rally Dodge Challenger.
Maybe. All I know is that there's smaller wheels because the all-wheel drive option was ticked.
Ah.
Okay, but here's the biggest issue, and we're going to drive. I'm going to let you drive this. I've been living with this all week, so you drive.
Okay.
Okay, but the biggest issue is that for pretty much the same price as this, you can get a manual V8 Challenger.
Ooh.
Yes. All right, put your foot down in the mighty Pentastar V6. 305 horsepower, 268 pound-feet of torque.
305?
That's not bad, right?
You don't normally know the numbers off by heart.
No, I just looked them up like literally 5 seconds before we started recording.
So it's less than half of a Hellcat.
Yes. Does it feel less than half a Hellcat?
You know what it feels like?
Yeah.
It feels like I have traction.
Yes, which is a weird feeling when you see this dashboard.
I've never sat in a Challenger and had traction.
And been able to put your foot down.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah, no, it's an interesting concept. And you're running right now in rear-wheel drive mode. The reason we're not spinning our wheels is because the car is hopelessly underpowered for how heavy it is.
Yes, it's a heavy car.
And it sounds exactly like a minivan. Because it's a minivan engine.
Which minivan?
Well, the.
Have I asked one question too many?
Hold on, no, I got this. It's a Dodge Grand Caravan.
Okay.
Or a Chrysler Pacifica. As the Pentastar V6.
Okay.
Yeah. No, obviously I got some knowledge.
So I'm in rear-wheel drive mode. Do I choose to be in rear-wheel drive mode?
No, the car chooses for you.
The car, based on what parameters?
Temperature is one of them. If I turn the traction control all the way off, which I'll do right now, there's a sport mode for the traction control, and that's also all-wheel drive. So basically, there is no rear-wheel drive fun in this car, as far as I can figure out, which is a bit disappointing for me. Because this, for me, was an exercise to see what an all-wheel drive Challenger could feel like if you put it, I want to know, like, what happens if we put the Hellcat engine in this? Because the biggest issue with the Challenger is you can never get the power down.
That'd be wonderful if a Hellcat had all-wheel drive.
Exactly. And now you're back in rear-wheel drive mode because I've turned the traction control back on.
But my question to you is, this is 50 grand as spec. 50 grand for a V6 Challenger.
Yes.
What's the Scat Pack? It can't be much more.
No. Well, the Scat Pack is a full jump up, like we said, right? There's the V8 RT.
Oh, it's torquey.
Torquey, off the line.
Yeah, very torquey.
Because there's some displacement. It's 3.6 liters, right? So it just kind of falls off as soon as you get into third gear.
Yeah.
Right. There isn't any shove.
Yeah, well, the weird thing about this car is it's so big.
Yep.
And I don't understand, like, if a car is big on the inside, I get it, but there's so much of this car is just on the outside.
Yeah,
and I get that it's the Challenger, I get the shape of it.
I feel like as passengers, we've been deprioritized based on the square footage.
Yes, yes.
Like we don't really get much of it.
The ride is quite nice. It's a bit bumpy, a bit choppy. It's kind of got that chop that makes your cheeks move up and down.
Yes, yes.
Makes you realize how much weight you put on in COVID.
Yeah, mine's right around here.
Yeah.
The problem.
I just want to drive a car without my tits bouncing, all right? And if it's the car that reminds me of that, I don't want it.
So basically, the ride is fine, as you say, until you get in something with, like, I don't know, Cadillacs or the Camaro's Magna-Ride.
The Magna-Ride, yeah.
Magna-Ride is just so superior to this in terms of, like, that initial bump damp. This is soft, and you can easily cruise in it, but it does jostle.
This is a cruiser. This is a cruiser.
It's absolutely a cruiser, except for when it does that.
Well,
and
this,
we get boom
yeah,
bounce.
this to me, you know, the Challenger is obviously a very iconic shape.
Yeah.
And I kind of get it at first. And with the V6, the all-wheel drive, like, this isn't exciting.
No.
And like, so okay, here's a good example.
Yeah.
When I got to America for the first time,
Yeah.
I thought
coming of age story.
9 years ago when I landed I lived in Texas for a year. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
I thought the best restaurant in the world was the Cheesecake Factory. To me, it was like the best thing, and I think that's what the Challenger is. It's like an initially like, wow, America!
America, look at the size of this thing!
But I don't know if this car, there's not much pull there.
No, there's a grating,
a lot of noise
to the engine that I don't like. Yeah. Okay. So it's in some ways.
Yeah. Anyway, my point there was, as your palate gets more sophisticated, the Cheesecake Factory and a V6 all-wheel drive Challenger stop being so special.
Yeah, exactly. But every once in a while, I do like a big old slice of cheesecake. I just prefer my cheesecake to have a manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, and a V8.
Yes.
If I'm going to eat cheesecake, it's going to be the good one with the Oreos on top, right? I'm not going to waste my time.
However, if you want a Challenger, you want it to look like this, you want the interior of a Challenger, for whatever reason, and you want to have a safe, like, almost do-no-wrong car that survives winter, all seasons, basically.
I will tell you, yes, this is it, because I cannot unstick this thing. I could not unstick it. Like, traction control off, but that turns the all-wheel drive on, so you can't, like, slide it around and have fun with it, right?
It's comfortable. I'm comfortable right now.
That's exactly what this is. This is a comfortable cruising Challenger. If you're looking for a Challenger, you like the Challenger shape, you like the classic, the history of it, like the styling is second to none. Nothing looks like this right now.
No.
If you want this, and you want it to be usable in Canadian winters, this is the only way to do it. This is the only way to do it. Right? Because even the V8, even the V8 ones and the Hellcat ones are like almost unusable power most of the time.
Yeah, this feels like training wheels for a Challenger.
That's exactly what it is.
Feels like we're in a tutorial.
Yes. I can't stress enough though just how much the bigger engines change the character of this car.
It's everything.
It's everything. Like
I've associated big engines with Challengers now. This feels strange.
It feels very weird, right? So like,
better economy.
Yeah, but not much. It's still 3.6 liter V6.
And you can wind it out, and you're not even at the limit for a while.
For a long while.
If you've got a heavy foot, this is a safer car.
Yeah, it's definitely. Oh, it's the safer car in every respect, right? If you know, listen, I don't like this car very much, but I don't hate it.
No.
Right? Like I can't fault it for what it is, right? They applied all, and they're the only muscle car / pony car, whatever American manufacturer that put all-wheel drive in one of their cars.
They should have just put it in the higher power ones.
In the higher power ones.
Because then we'd see what launch in a Hellcat's like.
Then we would dominate the drag strip. We would dominate the drag strip in this if you had all-wheel drive, right? But yeah, so I was a little disappointed. Anyway, the way the all-wheel drive system works is it chooses based on, as I said, temperature and the modes you're in and how you're driving and if it's raining out, if it puts the all-wheel drive on. It has a transfer case up front. I think up to 30% of the power can go to the front wheels, roughly that, maybe 38%. And that is a good concept, but the problem is that I don't have control over it. If they made it so that I had control over the all-wheel drive system.
So you could just decouple.
I would just want to decouple like you could with an M5.
At the press of a button.
At a press of a button, and then do donuts, because there's enough power to do donuts in this car, or a burnout, which, let's be serious.
That's the character of this car.
That's why you buy a Challenger, right? You buy it because it can do burnouts, right? Because it's not the canyon car.
You could also buy it knowing that it is the person in the Hellraisin Superstock across the way. The layman won't be able to tell the difference. Meanwhile, you're the guy that gets to drive it wherever you want all year round, and the Superstock who spent 100 and something grand.
And the point that you made earlier about the badges being blacked out and not very obvious, it's almost as if Dodge is a little bit ashamed of it. In a way, I don't want to call them on that.
No, it's the Ninja Challenger.
Is that what it is?
The fat all-wheel drive Ninja Challenger that can't really scale the buildings like a Ninja should.
No, not really at all. I don't have a whole lot more to say about this car. I think the conclusion is very simply, if you're looking for a full Challenger experience, do everything you can
to at least get the Scat Pack.
To at least
have a Hemi in it.
Yeah. Well, the one right above this is the 392. Right, which isn't
the one right above us is the
RT. Sorry, RT. Yeah, the 392 is the Scat Pack.
Which isn't quite the Hemi, but is a V8.
But is a V8. That's the one. That's the same price as this.
You're going to go full America, and you're going to get a car that makes no sense in terms of its proportions.
Its usability, right?
Then you might as well go the whole way and get a V8.
And get a good set of snow tires if you have to put it in the winter, and just get some driving instruction or something, right? But like, I don't think that I would recommend this car because you can't decouple the all-wheel drive, and the V8 adds so much character to these that it just has to be there. For the same price. For honest to God, the same price. You can get within $1,000, a manual rear-wheel drive V8 Challenger. That's the answer.
And like my uncle said, the key to happiness is